Welcome back. We found a fix for the microphone pressing walking thing. Push to talk once, on off. It's the obvious solution. I'm sorry, okay. The Order of the Ancients. By the way, hello there, or hi, whatever the Star Wars side universe you want to creep out of. The more we see of the Order of Ancients, the less they resemble the Templars as we know them today. How did this evolution take place? This older order was obsessed with our Isu precursors. They worshipped them as gods, aspired... 1 second, please. I have this pillow. I'm trying to position it behind my head. Sorry. Aspired to their status and power, and coveted their works and weapons. Coveted. In the name of... Oh, like COVID? Sorry, that was a bad one. In the name of the Order. Yes, not the, but the. No, right? There is no the Order, or the Order is just Order, but Order is good. But with a very strict hierarchy that placed the Isu well above humankind. Fulke, nicknamed the Instrument, has also wielded that term as an adjective. She believed that humans were deeply flawed, lesser beings meant to serve. The Templars believe in man, a more admirable approach, I will admit. Could it be the modern instruments of the first will represent some sort of return to the distant past? A revival of a dead order? Did they never truly vanish? Right here and right now. Yesterday, or the last episode, whenever you're going to listen to it, I talked about people that feel this is not an Assassin's Creed game. For you, Animus, Isu, more Isu. I like the idea of walking or experiencing several historic events. And the way Ubisoft is doing that is interesting. It's flawed, yes. There are mistakes and weaknesses. But the general idea of expanding this Assassin's Creed idea franchise to different times is interesting. I like it. I don't like the execution so much, but the idea in general is a nice one. Alrighty. Norse settlements in England must send a team to excavate the settlement location discovered through Layla's simulation. River Nene, or Nene? Near modern Leicestershire. Will we find bodies, grave goods, evidence of war? Plenty of precedent to go on there here. Most towns in England ending with Thorpe and by were founded by Norse warriors. Even York comes from Jorvik, a Norse mutation of Jorforvik. Evolution works at all levels on humans, on language. We know that the language of the settling Norse was a close cousin of the Old English spoken by the Saxons. In this way, they were mutually intelligible, in the most basic ways at least. This would account for the rapid success of the Norse when conquering and integrating with the locals. Shower thought. If the Americans still spoke English, they could invade the UK with similar success. Well, the Americans do speak English, but I always have a chewing gum. This way, I'm sorry if you feel offended. A little bit. I think it's funny, so it's okay. Don't be offended too much. There are situations in life where you should be offended. For example, if someone is, I don't know, hammering on your toe, or slapping you, or spitting on you, these are times when you should be offended. But if someone is making a genuine joke, but I know your country, don't be offended immediately. Oh, goodness. So... use laptop. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. We're not finished. Strange message. An audio fragment sent from an unknown location. Besides, what's a bit strange, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, your time outside of the Animus was, well, more often. This is the second time, I believe, or the third, and we are basically done with the game. Ubisoft Connect says we have 95% achieved of the game, so we're nearing the end. I guess we have one final big battle against Alfred, and then in the end, probably, I know Alfred will be the father, the grand hierarch of evil, I believe. I'm not sure if he is. And then this story will end. But there are DLCs coming in. I'm not sure what content. But yeah. Alrighty. To our encrypted service. And nothing was stolen, nothing corrupted, just a quick deposit and gone. We got lucky this time. So what is it? A cryptic sound file? Voice unknown with a signal beneath it? The signal was a code. Led us to a precise spot here in New England. We dug. New. It's just the term new. New York. Where do you think that came from? York? No. New England. New Mexico. New. I mean, if people... there's the Newfoundland. Newfoundland. It's just if you're an explorer and you find anything new or found a town and you have no idea, just, oh wait, we have a city called York at home. Let's call this New York. Wow. Congratulations for your mental excavation. We dug, and good lord, we struck gold. Well, silver, dominant currency in the Dark Ages. Point is, it was a gravesite, a Norse warrior dating to the late 9th century, or early 10th century AD. Anno Domini after the Lord, you know, modern times. The other is BC, before Christ, before modern times, you know, before he apparently died. This is big news, if we have it right. By the way, there are some people, we will finish this later, in a minute or two. There are people who say, Jesus Christ never existed. All is fake. Absolutely fake. Even if the whole Abrahamistic, religionic stuff, you know, Judaism and Muslims and Christians, even if they're all wrong and God doesn't exist in the sense that they believe, it doesn't mean that there wasn't a person called Jesus, a special person who had special skills, and people decided to tell tales about him or write about him. It doesn't necessarily mean that he made miracle healings. Maybe he just knew how to help a man who was nearly blind. And through medicine, maybe older Persian medicine, I have no idea. Maybe he was able to help people, and because those people did not know how, they believed that he committed miracles. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he did exist and do miracles. Maybe it's all a question of maybe. You can't know, so you shouldn't deny it. But you shouldn't also go through the world and say, this is how it happened, because I believe in it. Yeah, no, reality doesn't work like that. Just because you believe in it doesn't make it true. So we have to find a way of accepting that people have different opinions, and that even though our opinions do not always match, we can still live with each other and still talk about our opinions. That's very important in life. Anyway, point is, it was we had that. Questions remain. Damn it. How did these bones get here? And why? There's a radio. And boots. Why is the quality of the grass through the window so ridiculous? It's interesting. If we look through the glass, the quality deteriorates titanically. And yeah, it's interesting why. Strange. Let's listen to the radio. It's kind of lame. I expected a person to say Abstergo took world domination or something like that. Anyway, we have a laptop. Now, we do have an issue. Okay, so we can see what's new. That's good. Because I already read a shitload of content back then. Secure share. Read me. Hey guys, thanks for sharing with me the manuscript you found. It's truly amazing. For the first time, we have a key to read some inscriptions from the precursors. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do it, sorry, this would sound just ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to stop. Savamsi. But wait, it gets even better. I immediately saw some suspicious similarities with ancient languages. So now that I could decipher the glyphs, I dug into our precursor archives for more sources. I had to sort through the many different types of writings we found on precursor sites to find some similar to that inscription. It's quite puzzling how many seemingly unrelated writing systems they had. Maybe the precursors were not as monolithic a civilization as we think. Anyway, after more in-depth comparative work, the conclusion is unequivocal. This language is related to ancient languages from the Indo-European family, even others, maybe. In fact, given the corpus I've studied, I would say that it is probably an ancestor to them, or at least it had a significant influence on them. This is truly fascinating. With that comparative work, I was able to partially understand some of the inscriptions. The one above reads, "When destruction and death threatens before us, and the solar flare is reaching to the calculator of futures we run." This is probably wrong. I put my other findings in the share folder in case they can be of use to you. Keep me posted if you find anything else. Anthony. So, the solar flare. I mean, it's an interesting concept. We as a civilization have developed quite interestingly and quite far, but we could be wiped out pretty fast. A super volcano? Yellowstone National Park? You have any idea how that would work out? Or every few hundred of thousands of years, parts of America break off, giant parts with cliffs. They cause titanic tsunamis. They would obliterate part of Europe and Africa. Meteorites, of course. I mean, the dinosaurs were wiped out by giant pieces of stone coming from not Earth. And solar flares. If you don't know what that is, if you've been ignorant to the Assassin's Creed franchise and to school, the sun creates heat and it emits radiation and heat and sends it off in every direction. Now, at some times, the sun emits much more than usual. That can be a problem. Imagine, I don't know, we can take... I'm not going to do the Röntgen joke. Just on a scale of 1 to 100, we can take 1 Röntgen. And that's the equivalent of the radiation that we get through the sun. Now, it's not how it works, but just imagine for a second. And we could, in an emergency, take 10. Okay. And now the sun flares. And boom, 40,000 Röntgens come. And we're fucked. We're not going to survive it. It's going to kill us. Every one of us. And that could actually happen. I mean, not Röntgen, of course. If it's just going boom shit crazy. What's he talking about? It's just to try to make people understand that it's a possibility and it's a big problem. And we're not quite yet equipped to survive that. You can't just use a satellite formation. You'd need a titanic, huge shield that would be actually capable of shielding the entire planet of the solar flare, which would mean, ideally, you would have to place this large shield. I know, it probably need to be something that grows in size, like a sail. And you would have to place it as far away as you possibly can, close in on the sun, because of course you need to be very close to have any hopes of sparing Earth. Actually, there was an episode in Stargate Atlantis, I believe, where they had to do that, where they took a ZPM shield generator, a ZPM, and boosted their shield. And then they jumped with a BC 304. Is it 304? Oh, sorry, people who know Stargate. It's this BC 304, I believe. You know, the Asgard shield and weapon improved version of Earth's mightiest flagships. And then they deflected. I believe it was a solar flare. I don't know exactly if it was a solar flare, but the idea behind it was the same. Anyway. What's the first here? This? This is the first part of the manuscript you found in Canterbury. It uses a cursive version of the alphabet that appears to be the same as the one used in the Voynich manuscript, although the handwriting is clearly different. A translation. Announced on this day, 24, 2161 IE. A message from the Council. For the labor we cannot do ourselves, we require animals of great strength but limited sense, freedom of action but not of thought. To guarantee full control of their behavior, they must be credulous in matters of imagination. They must be suspicious in matters of fact. They must see patterns where there are none. They must doubt correlations that go against their desires. In all, they must be thought of as our instruments, not our children's. They will build for us, harvest for us, toil for us, on land, in the sea, in the sky. They shall be tools to be used, not creatures to be coddled. Our current father, Yaldabaoth, has given the order to start production. Our current mother, Saklas, has compiled and presented the designs. Our current voice, Samael, has gathered the required talent. Creation begins now. That sounds awfully like creation of humanity. So this is an order sheet for humanity. Yes, the same idea. I can't believe it. Where did Fulke get this? Did the order have the knowledge to read this language? Try to find out more if you can, Lila. This is big. This is really big. I informed Mentor Miles. I tried to transcribe pages of the Voynich manuscript, by the way, but it's still gibberish. It must use some sort of encryption that precursor boxes can decode. By the way, this is quite interesting. I like it. The idea behind it, in vast parts of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I felt it was so lame and so slow, and often at times all these regions that we had to conquer, it was just lame. They should have involved this outside story much, much more. I mean, first we get in the beginning stuff, and then in the end, it's just not enough. It needs to be balanced out much better. Try to place the story behind Assassin's Creed and integrate it much more carefully and better. If you can, Ubisoft. If you can. Alrighty. The tablet was found in Kubustan, Azerbaijan. Translation. Announced on this day, the 6th of 2194. So that's 30 years later. More or less. The workers from the construction site are reassigned to the sanitation of the lake, effective now. I'm not sure what lake this refers to. Given the evidence found, we are pretty sure there must be a precursor vault there, and this message seems to confirm it. Unfortunately, we haven't found it yet. Maybe this will help. This piece of ceramic was found in Jerusalem. Translation. This sun shone warmly inside. A burning sight. Now I Zeus. Haha, I knew it. He's behind everything. The wound, the god Zeus, godfather. You never heard of him? We are in Odin territory anyway. The wound in the lake of tears. An example of precursor poetry, and a pretty sad one at that. Note that the original text follows a meter of 16 morae per verse. This place was found in the Serengeti, Tanzania. Translation. What was true is untrue. What was done is undone. It is a war, not a rebellion. All are summoned to fight. The heck. This tablet was found in Xi'an, China. Translation. 2,800 shovels for shoveling, 1,750 axes for cutting, and 880 plows for plowing. Lock or hide them. I suspect theft from inside. Shovels, axes, and plows? Why would the precursors use such rudimental tools given their advanced technology? Or did they keep their technology away from their human slaves? So many things we don't know about them. Alrighty. There's a video. So there are people in animals, something sitting in chairs, and she's coming from behind. She's smashing some object into one of the chairs. Okay. Mailbox. We should start there. Yes. Wait, should we? May 2020? 2019? January? Yeah. Ooh, okay. From unknown to Layla. 27th of December 2019, before Corona. More or less. It was already there since November, L. Would your favorite baseball team happen to be the Atlantis Eagles? Who the fuck is this? You have a gift and a curse. The gift of old blood. The curse of not understanding it. We can help if you help us. What you did is not your fault. but you must take responsibility for it. Otherwise, nothing gets done. One of us will contact you. If you miss us, you miss your chance. From unknown to Layla. January. So months later. Next steps. L. One last message, after which all communication between us via this account or any other will cease. We have our own ways of talking, methods that cannot be sniffed or traced. Your previous team made this mistake. They knew the risks, but they were sloppy, left traces of their activity on everything, digital fingerprints everywhere. That will not happen with us. My colleagues tell me the initial meeting went well. They are impressed, if a little wary of the influence your new toy has on you, but they know better than most what it means to live with such a burden. I am curious to know more about this heir of memories epithet. It is not a phrase we have heard in all our decades of research. In a few weeks' time, we will contact you once more. If you are interested in proceeding, follow our instructions to the letter. If you are not interested, or if you break any of our protocols, this will be the last time you hear from us. Take this to heart. The world is sick and getting sicker. That sounds Templar-ish. The Earth's magnetic field is growing stronger. Satellites are falling from the sky. Earthquakes are getting more frequent. Famines are becoming more and more frequent. And now we have credible reports of a new and deadly virus sweeping throughout Asia. Oh, Corona. It can feel like we are living through a Yeats nightmare. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. In many ways, we are. But there is hope. There is a cure. Us. That sounds Nazi-ish. In the past few months, we have come across something that may help us solve our most pressing problems. A message, a very promising message, that may help us reverse the dire course we are on. If you want to be part of the solution, join us. If not, we wish you the best of luck. I'm ready. 2 days and 2 days later. And then 3 minutes later, they are camping the account. Good. From Rami to Layla. Subject: disappearing for a while. On May. Wait, what? When was the last man? January, okay. So a few months later. I don't like the sound. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. Rami. Forgive the short email. I wanted to call, but I'm not using phones right now and my time is limited. I'm still recovering from my trip. Things got out of hand and nothing went as expected. People got hurt. I told you it was for research, and was, but not for the truth. Altair? Wait. Altair. Altair. I have no idea. The truth is, I haven't worked for them for a few years. Of course, it's Abstergo. Oh no, it's not. Well, Altair. This is not Abstergo. Abstergo. There's no place for it. It's Altair. The truth is, I haven't worked for them for a few years. It's a long story. I won't bother you with the details. It wasn't for me. Leave it at that. The group I'm with now, I can't explain, not over email, but they've shown me things, given me opportunities, and opened my eyes to a broader view. That sounds Templarish, but not without cost. That sounds very Templarish. In fact, I fucked up badly last year. Not badly, but, bad. More than once. And I need to make it right. I know all this sounds cryptic. It is, but I'm not in danger. Not in the way you might think. if I'm being vague, it's because I need to be. I don't want any data sniffers picking up keywords that might raise alarms. Do I sound paranoid? A little. You know, you can encrypt your emails, and there's no keyword sniffer, but you haven't heard that from me. Here's the point. Don't worry about me. I'm with a couple of people who I trust now. They've been at this a lot longer than I have, and they're going to see me through this. I promise. At this time next year, things will be better. The skies will be clear. Sorry, the earthquakes will stop, and we'll celebrate Ramadan together. It'll be just like the 90s all over again. Tell Mama and Baba I miss them and that I'm doing fine. Your sis, L. From Layla to Rami. And from Rami to Layla. I don't like the sound of any of this, Layla. I don't like where it's leading. Not using phones is not the right way to ease my mind. You have my number. I suggest you call it. And no, I won't say hello to your parents for you, because doing so would bury me in questions I cannot answer, and to tell father that you no longer work for Abstergo would break his heart. That's all he ever talks about, how his daughter is on the cutting edge of neuroscience. The man doesn't understand the first thing about what you do or did, and he's still proud. I will not be the one to disappoint him. Is it COVID? Is that why you're being cagey? Something else? Call him. Call me and stop this insane game of hide and seek. I just want to know that you are safe. I don't have COVID, no. And I'm be well isolated. It's just 3 of us traveling together, staying out of sight. Thanks for clearing that up in such a profound, detailic manner. I'm sure I'll sleep soundly now. That sounds very brother-ish. Okay. So we're done. All of this is not new, so we already read that. Yeah, we did. So we can advance, actually, to the next stage of the game. I mean, this is a bit disappointing. I expected much more information. But I guess this is what we have now, so okay.
I'm ready.
It's a long way to Beantown. Hop in.
Sean, I'm here.
Ah, good. Your signal's already a little wobbly. Are you inside?
Not yet, but there's 100 feet of ice above me.
All right, we may lose touch when you push through, so remember what we talked about. Watch your meters carefully, for radiation especially, and keep the staff close.
Got it.
Standing by.
Zawaho en nakwat. Unsme borturwan di guarde. Ul solos vras hunakudide. Unzum huraz desderehaz. Zohumsi. I'm in.
Good. And remember, do not shut the machine off. Just slow it down. The field it generates must still protect the Earth.
I hear you. The elevator still works.
75,000 years. What's another millennium or two?